Hey guys, what's happening? It's me, Liam, and we are on episode number 4 of my talks on depression. Let's do this. So far we have been talking about depression, which we all know is pretty shit. So in the last episode I spoke about how today I was going to cover antidepressants and my views on those. Now, I didn't really explain too much about my views in terms of my story of antidepressants. For those that did watch, you'll know that I said that I never took them, which is true. However, the reason I never took them is the same with most drugs, to be honest. Things like paracetamol, ibuprofen. I don't take them because I feel, unless I have to, I don't take them because I feel they don't really solve the problem. I know there are some that do work, however I feel they just mask the problem rather than actually dealing with it, which isn't really what you need. And as someone that suffers with depression and anxiety, when I went and visited my GP and I said, hey, this is what's going on, can we fix this? He turned around and the first thing he said was, let's get you on antidepressants. No. Now, the reason I didn't want to go on antidepressants, again, he explained the benefits of taking them. He said, you know, this will reduce your symptoms by half the time. Normally it takes 12 months for you to pass, or it takes normally about 12 months for depression to clear, whatever that means. And it just halves that, so it'd take about 6 months, blah, 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 blah. He didn't really explain the side effects, how I'd feel. I guess he just didn't explain the whole process of it, and I was just like, you know what, I would rather try and find a way that doesn't kind of mess with my body and my mind and just try and do something more natural and healthy. That's why I didn't take them. I know a lot of people that have taken them, and I will touch upon their stories a bit later on. However, for me, I didn't take them because I just don't like the idea of drugs messing with my body. I like to be in control and try and figure things out and sort them out, because that makes more sense to me. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about antidepressants and the different types that are out there, the side effects that go with those, and people's experiences using them, and then obviously summarize to whether you want to try them or whether you don't. So let's see what's out there. There are 4 main types of antidepressants here in the UK anyway. So for all the information I have on these antidepressants, I pulled them off the internet via the NHS website. Right, so I'm going to try my best to read these because these to me just sound like a load of gibberish. So the first one is called, and the most commonly known one is called SSRIs, which stands for Selective Serotonin Reuptake Inhibitor. And so basically this is one of the most commonly prescribed type of antidepressants. By the way, this is all just information I've just pulled off the internet because again, so these SSRIs cause the fewest amount of side effects, which to me suggests that is it really worth the risk if there's that many side effects with other ones. Anyway, the most commonly found SSRIs names of the medication: fluoxetine. Do you know, I'm just going to write these on the screen because I don't even know how you pronounce these. Why doctors ever came up with these weird names, I don't know, because fluoxetine, Prozac, sertraline, citalopram, and the last one is paroxetine. I don't know. I'll put all the names up and you can find them yourselves. So that's selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Number 2, SNRIs. This stands for serotonin noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors. Why? These are supposedly very similar to the SSRIs, which we just looked at. However, these were originally designed to be more effective than those. However, what they discovered were some people reacted better to these and found that others reacted better to the SSRIs. So they're kind of split, so they weren't really as effective or not as effective. The main two types of these are duloxetine and venlafaxine. This is like a challenge by itself. On to number 3 because this sucks. Then we got NASSAS, NASAs. These are noradrenaline and specific serotonergic antidepressants. These are effective basically for those who cannot take SSRIs. At first, when you take these, they cause drowsiness and tiredness, and they are thought to cause fewer sexual problems. Again, alarm bells. There is only one type of these, which is called Zispin. Number 4, TCAS, which is tricyclic antidepressants. These are one of the most oldest form of antidepressants, which are no longer actually recommended for first-line treatment for people with depression, due to being dangerous if you overdose on them. So the other ones, there's minimal risk if you overdose. Well, there's always a risk. These are meant to be very dangerous if you do overdose, and the side effects are a lot more unpleasant than the other antidepressants. So if anyone mentions these names, such as amitriptyline, clomiprimolene, imiprimic, and nortiprimolene. Seriously, these, I give up. So those are the 4 types. Doesn't really give you too much information about them. Again, if you take them and they work, awesome. However, when I did look, I found so many cons on them, which again to me is alarm bells. Now what I want to do is read out the pros versus cons and just some of the things I found out which might be interesting to you. So let's talk pros. Antidepressants have been shown and effective at improving the symptoms, thus improving the mood. They've also been shown to actually remove all symptoms of depression together and can even, not necessarily cure, but help with chronic pain. So in the last episode we spoke about what depression is scientifically, and we kind of we discovered that it was all to do with neurotransmitters and the regrowth of those. So this kind of helps, the antidepressants help with the regrowth of that and activating the neurotransmitters, which thus improve the symptoms and basically enables you to go through your cycle of depression quicker, thus supposedly feeling better quicker, if that makes any sense. So those are pretty much all the pros I found on them. Not a lot. Then we have the cons. Now, I don't even know where to start with these, to be honest. So firstly, in the UK alone, the NHS spends £780,000 a day on antidepressants. How is it we have that many antidepressants being described and we have such a huge rate of people suffering with depression? Something to think about. Now, one of the most common side effects for all antidepressants are dizziness, headaches, and the feeling of feeling sick or nauseous. On the more extreme side, they can lead to seizures, irregular heartbeat, and can even cause unconsciousness in terms of you can just be walking along and pass out. Severe cases. In rare cases, but this does happen for some people and something to keep in mind, it has actually enhanced people's depression and enhanced their suicidal thoughts, and it actually led to them hurting themselves in whatever way that might be. It's actually increased all those thoughts in their head and actually led to them actually abusing their body through taking these antidepressants. Again, everyone reacts differently to those drugs. Not saying all of them cause these things. Other side effects include things like weight gain. The other one is something you should be alarmed about for both men and women, and it can also dampen sexual desires and sexual activity in that it can prohibit erections, orgasms, and just completely reduce your whole sexual desire. Straight away, I wouldn't even bother. The other things they can do is alter your personality, and they actually can be quite addictive for some people in that people become adjusted to the dosage, and they start to feel better, and then they don't want to come off them because they're scared that by coming off them they will go back to the state they were previously, so therefore they keep taking them and taking higher dosage, which again isn't solving the problem, it's just masking what's already there. The other interesting thing that I read was they're actually not prescribed or recommended for people under the age of 18. We're seeing that the depression symptoms are starting as young as people that are 4 or 5 years old. So if these people are suffering with depressions, and I know when I was young going through school I suffered with depression at the age of 13, 14, 15, blah 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 blah. How are we meant to get help if these kind of drugs that supposedly help we can't be prescribed to the happy pill? So what do? They are just some side effects that I just pulled off the internet. You can do your own research like anything, and you can make up your own mind. Now, I spoke to a lot of friends about this and who are taking antidepressants, and actually it's quite interesting to see their experiences. A lot of them actually still are taking antidepressants, but that I think is the addiction side. Now again, it's that whole they don't want to come off because they're worried about going back into a depressive state, so therefore they keep going, and the GP keeps recommending high dosage. So the impact that that's going to have on them is going to be huge mentally, because God knows what it's doing to all their hormones and chemicals. It's just going to be all over the place. A lot of the experiences people have that I know personally have been quite negative. I mean, just looking at my family, my dad was antidepressants, and it just completely made him bonkers. He'd be up and down like a freaking yo-yo. He'd just be like, 1 minute be happy, 1 minute be sad, 1 minute be happy, 1 minute be sad, just me alone. It was like, blah, what the hell's going on? Just witnessing that personally, just seeing someone that's quite close to me in my life, being immediate family, going through that, and knowing friends, waking up in the middle of the night with just sweating or being super anxious, and actually making them more anxious and more depressed. To me, it just rings all these alarm bells, and I just think, why bother? However, on the flip side of that, there are, I'm sure, a lot of people who antidepressants work for. They make them feel a lot better, and I think that is awesome. I think if they work for you, great. I would recommend to anyone, whatever your view, do your research first. Some people will say they're great, they work. Other people will say they don't. We don't really know what depression is. We don't really know if antidepressants work. We don't really know what cures there are. Is there a cure? This is such a mind boggle of a discussion in that there are no answers. I think everyone is so different. We all experience depression so differently, and it is just crazy that everything has such a different effect on everyone. And I think the more I look into depression, the more I think it's your own journey, and only you are going to know the outcome and have control of how you get from A to B. And hopefully all this information helps you. It gives you a bit of a guidance in terms of what to try, not to try, where to look, not to look. And I don't know, it's just mental. But we really just have no idea what this thing is and how and if it can actually be cured. you know, that of course scientists and doctors are going to say, yes, we can cure this, you know, take this happy pill, you'll be great in a few days, months, years. But in reality, it seems that people aren't really cured and aren't really happy. So I don't really know. So guys, that concludes episode number 4. I hope it was educational to you as it was me. I hope you can kind of make up your own mind on what you like. Well, hopefully you can make up your own mind on whether antidepressants are good, whether they're bad. I'd love to hear your experiences. Again, my own personal views. It's not that I hate them, and if they work, great. I just don't like drugs. So guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and keep sharing the love and the stories. Speak to people that do suffer with depression, even if you don't suffer yourself. It would mean a lot to those people. And I will see you next week for episode number 5. Until next time guys, take it easy. Bye for now. Peace.